Where the hoes at, bro?
Where the hoes at, man? Atlanta. I ain't gonna lie, Atlanta.
Atlanta. Isn't it great out here?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's an avalanche. You know? It's amazing. And I when I see someone like you and you look like, is that the Coogee?
Yes, sir.
Got the Coogee on.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Got the diamonds on the fingers.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? You give me this kind of Biggie Rick Ross look.
Man, it's New York, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
New York,
it's
bro.
New York, bro.
New York got that. New York kinda got this thing, like you could tell, like right, it's got a little flavor.
Oh
from
no,
it.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It always comes with like a little spice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody from there got this little thing. It's just you know,
it's a little swag, man.
I
it
call
comes
it
with
like New York kind of has that spice from the people. California kind of got the swag. It's like it's the way you walk and talk.
Yeah, it's just more action.
And then in New York, it's like a spice. It's just little.
It's in the fit.
Yeah,
it's fly.
That's why it's dope when they both come together because it's like, you want to get the
some
flavor from New York, you gonna get the swag from California.
Absolutely agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sir.
And then you are gonna get the hoes from Atlanta.
Yeah. we just take that flight to Hartsville. That's all it is.
Tell me about you, Sweater. What's going on with you,
man? I'm a songwriter. I'm a singer, producer from New York. I started off. Actually, I'll say this: I got my name from 9thwonder. Because I started off as a songwriter writing over his beats. You
know what's so crazy? I said this a lot of the times about people. I was like, sometimes you're a kingmaker before you're a king.
Yeah.
Right? So Beyonce's writers, y'all the kingmakers, she's the king.
Yeah.
It's not your time. Sometimes if you follow your path of being a kingmaker, you'll get to become a king.
Yes,
but you gotta follow that path first. A lot of times people are like, I want to be the king right now. So that's
immediately. Yeah,
you're not the king.
Yeah, man. I spent years writing, producing for everybody. I still do it, but my first placement, I got my first big placement actually was in high school. We ended up doing a joint on Neo. It was a remix to a record called "You to Love," and that kind of kickstarted that. That was my senior year, and then from there, doing like tone stuff, just all over R&B type of records, and then. From there, I was going to Rock Nation School in Brooklyn. That was my college. 1 year in college before I dropped out. But 9th was one of my professors. And I took like 3 of his classes. It was a history of hip hop, whatever. And long story super short, it was a beat battle, and I was smoking niggas. I was smoking, but I had on a little sweater on, and he was just like, I don't know if he didn't remember my name or what. He kept calling me Sweater the whole time. And when I started writing over some of his beats, and he was just like, "Yo, Sweater, we're just gonna run with that."
Yeah.
So it kind of stuck,
because now it's got so many other meanings. It's not just
absolutely.
no. I'm sweating you.
Yeah, there's not a lot of things.
It's hot in here.
There's not a lot of things that's better than good warmth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like these records are super like audible hugs in a sense. I'm just here to keep them warm, man.
How's the initial start of fame for you? Were you starting to get a little name recognition? The girls are starting to notice.
Yeah.
Maybe so-called cousins are starting to pop up. You know what I mean? How is it starting to feel for you?
Honestly, man, I feel like it's a blessing. It's absolutely a blessing because you couldn't have told me a few years ago that this is what my career would have ended up looking like. You know what I mean? It's been a journey and it's been a transformation because I've never seen myself in the forefront. Like I said, I was behind the scenes for so long. And I kind of thought that was going to be the journey from now on. But, man, And
by the way, let me just say this. There's nothing wrong with being a king.
Oh, absolutely.
I know a particular writer that's worth over $150 million.
Yeah. I know a few.
Yeah. He's doing just fine.
Oh, yeah. They're great. But then I look at, like, some of my biggest inspos. I look at Dream. I look at Neo. I look at Babyface. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they were able to do it. They were writing hit records while having the hit records. So, thankfully, in 2025, there's kind of a playbook of some sorts where I can just look at their careers and kind of model myself in a sense while still bringing what I bring to the table.
And the singing perspective is pretty dope. You know why?
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why, bro. We haven't had kind of like a heavy set singer in a minute.
Sure.
Like the lovable chunky
guy.
Man,
Teddy Bear, man.
Like we haven't had a Teddy Bear singer in a minute, man. You know what I mean?
No, for sure, man. And
like, we're missing that.
And it's
everyone
perspective,
trying to have
bro.
abs. Like, man, put that. Man, we don't want no abs.
Absolutely, and it's
where the hoes at, bro? Man, we want the Philly cheesesteak.
For sure, and it's a double entendre in a sense because it's not. I'll say this: I love R&B. I grew up on R&B, but male R&B feels like we've been singing at the women more than singing to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I talk to some of my OGs, like back when it was cool for guys to really, really rock
tell the
with
girl, I
R&B.
miss you.
Exactly. Like just some of that.
Do you think that it's because a lot of women haven't been asking for that? Because think about what they're turning up to.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to sit there and say we haven't been giving it to you, but there's a reason. It didn't stop out of the blue.
I feel you.
It was because the acceptance was like, I just want a guy to sing to me about money and let's go to a hotel. And then the girls be singing that now.
And it's weird because I can't really speak to that to all the way because I'm 21. So the generation of women I've been around, it feels like they haven't wanted that because they haven't been exposed to that.
So maybe it's just time to change it a little.
Maybe they just need to hear it. You know what I mean? And when I see the shorties are doing their thing on in R&B, and I just did a whole record about that. Just all the shorties I adore over there. But the guys, I feel like I'm starting to see this new vulnerable thing pull up, and I'm super proud of my peers, man. So like Leon Thomas, I'm seeing him go crazy with that record.
Leon Thomas project. Me and Fitted were talking about that. That project is crazy. I got a chance to interview him last year. That project is crazy.
Man. No, it's fly. It's fly, but it's what she want to hear. But still got a little bit of the dog. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Come on,
like so that's what I kind of want to bring to the table. Is like I'm gonna bring that subject matter back, but in a fly way where, like I said, I got discovered by 9thwonder, so the beats is gonna be hard.
The beats is gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be a groove. It's gonna be something you could top down late night just drive, and it's still a jam, but it's still what she want to hear.
Yeah.
And I feel like that blend has been missing and it's been vacant. So.
Where are you staying at now? Are you staying in Atlanta? Or
I'm in New York still, man.
You still in New York?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because Paradise, I was talking to Paradise earlier, and he's from New York, but now he lives in
LA.
Yeah. So he was talking about that transition of what we were talking about, spice versus swag.
Bro,
you know,
I will say Atlanta. I stayed here to finish my album last year for 3-4 months, man.
Yeah, strip clubs is where it's at though.
No, I love it out here.
Strip clubs in Atlanta is kind of like landmarks are in New York or LA.
For
you got to
sure.
go to see the Empire State Building.
You
got to go see the Hollywood sign. Here you got to go to Magic City.
Yeah, you got to go to Magic. And it's more than it's Cascade. It's the feelings, the energy, it's the weather. Oh my goodness.
You know what I love? You know what I love about Atlanta?
What's up?
I heard this a long time ago, but right now we're in Atlanta, but like 30 minutes in any direction you in Georgia. It's like trees and forests, valleys and
deers
and it's comfortable and quiet. And then in the city, it's panty raising escalators.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. Even when I was finishing my project, I knew when I said I wanted to move to Atlanta for a little bit, I was like, I gotta be a little bit outside so we won't get too distracted.
You know what's so funny, bro? It would be nice just to hear someone. Imagine someone did like a whole city R&B album where each song was about every city they stayed in or lived in, and about something that they experienced there. It could be a sexual experience, maybe some toppy sloppy, where she polished your chrome really well, or you made some money with a girl, or you just had a love affair that was a quick love at first sight, and it just depicted the city.
Yeah, and
every song was about a city and an experience of that.
Yeah, in that city. I will say when I came down to ATL, the album sounded way different before I came here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I made some of my favorite records out here. It's not even funny, man.
Bro.
Actually, I say this. I think it was my second time going to Magic was with Usher and Tip after his last tour.
Wait a minute.
Hey man, you know it's mega. It's mega, man.
That. So you got to go to the biggest known strip club around the world. Go argue with your front camera.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
That's the biggest known,
absolutely,
in the world. And you went with the King of the South.
The King of the South.
And an R&B icon.
I ain't gonna lie, that's one of those stories.
That's who you went with,
man. I kid you not, man. So we went to Usher did his last show on that last tour. And you know that's a big bro, man. Shout out to everything he's done. But what a lot of people don't know is my manager actually discovered or brought out Tip. So shout out to KP Kwan Prather. I was rolling with him. Yeah, I was rolling with him. And after the show, they was like, "Yo, we about to head to Magic. What's the word?" So I was like, I get there, and I ain't never went to Magic like that though.
Right, yeah.
So that was a different experience.
South and you go with Usher,
for sure, but
it's different.
Man, so they ran my single, and I ain't gonna say I didn't like how it sounded there, but it was like, oh, I'm hearing what's working in there. You know what I mean? I'm hearing even Usher, one of my favorite artists of all time, of course, but I'm hearing they not going straight to what I would listen to in the whip. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that showed me how vast and how versatile his entire catalog was. So that made me go home right after, I kid you not, 5 a.m, and I made this crazy joint. And it kind of opened my mind up to knowing the place for your record. You know what I mean? And I as a writer, as a producer, initially I really like study music so weird. Like I'm taking little things from each song and I listen to it different and I analyze it different. So it put my mind in the state of, all right, yeah, I gotta experience music in certain areas rather than just thugging it out in the studio all day.
Put yourself in different experiences will pull out different sounds out of you. So where's everybody got to follow you at, and what do you got coming up? Go ahead.
Oh man, you can follow me anywhere at SWEATA, SWEATA. And man, we just wrapped up the project, so we're gonna start rolling that out soon. But right now, my new single 8 p.m. is out. 8 p.m. by your side by the boy SWEATA. We got a remix on the way with one of my favorite Atlanta. I'm not gonna call him a YN, but one of the craziest young rappers out here, and I'm super excited to announce that real soon, man.
There it is, bro. I appreciate you stopping by, SWEATA, man.
Absolutely, man.
Ladies, man, you know what I'm saying? Y'all looking for that husky lover? You better learn how to
I keep you warm.
and cook.
I keep you warm.